What's up, guys? We're back here again today. Today we'll be reviewing the Star Wars The Black Series deluxe figure, the new General Grievous. I just went out today and picked him up. He is supposedly a GameStop exclusive, and I never really have much luck at finding GameStop exclusives at GameStop, but luckily I was able to snag one from a local toy shop in town, and I am very excited. For anybody who's watched my previous videos, you guys know how excited I am that we are getting some more prequel content. And this General Grievous, I really like what he looks like. Now, what I've been seeing online from people who already have him is a lot of people are just not that crazy about this figure, not as much as they like in the box. I think he looks good, but outside of the box and some of the things going on with this figure, they are just not that big of fans of. So I'm gonna open him up. Hopefully I really like everything though, because I'm very excited about this figure. All right, so we'll start with some first impressions here on this Grievous now that I have him out of the box, and then we'll kind of get more into detailed stuff. But I mean, I like the stature of the figure. Like, the size looks very good. Everything about him so far I think looks pretty good. He's a little battle damaged in terms of some of the markings on his head and just on his torso and body and whatnot, which I think is fine. I think it looks fine for the figure. I see people's issues with the cape though. This was one of the issues I saw in the box. Obviously, is just the bulkiness of the cape around the shoulder. I don't know. I really, in some of the smaller figures, it's usually just like just a thin string right here that goes around the neck, and then it just hangs, which I'm surprised they decided not to go with that. We got this Velcro kind of thing here. I like the color of the cape and like the actual look, and I like that they included the cape because, sometimes with accessories and Black Series figures, you don't get everything. And I know that this is a deluxe figure, so you definitely would probably get the cape. But I just like his look with the cape too. I like when he wears it in the movie and stuff like that. But I can see the issue. Just this neck area is just very, very big and just kind of throws off the actual look here. If you guys get right there, see, like, if I only have him showing from right there, from like the neck down right now, or neck up rather, I mean, it just, that Velcro patch is just huge. All right, so real quick before we go into looking at this figure without the cape, my cape thoughts and everything I just said was kind of my initial reaction, and the cape just, I don't know, like the way this looked, I was like, oh, that's Velcroed across. It's not. It's actually sewn together right there, so it just slides right off his head, which I guess makes sense because it's not really hard to get on or off or remove, but for me it just looked like it was Velcro. So moving on from that though, this is kind of the two-arm illusion look that you can kind of give this Grievous. So he actually does have points right here with his arms that kind of, there's like a little piece of plastic that goes into this front arm, and they can kind of lock together. For mine right now, this arm is not locking together very well. This one's locking together a lot better, and so from the straight on look, you can kind of give him that two-arm illusion, which I at least like. I know that it's hard to kind of do that with figures where you can kind of change how they look in terms of him having four arms versus having two. I know with the 3-inch figure, that's kind of what they do, is they have this thing where the arms will kind of interlock and it'll look good. So I respect it. From the front on look here, you can see mostly, if they actually link up together right, that he would basically look like he only has two arms right now, or at least two arms functional right now. So here we can kind of see the expanded out forearm look on the figure. I'll get into kind of putting some lightsabers in his hand and some more accessories here in just 1 second for you guys to kind of look at it all together. But this is just the forearm look kind of without the cape. I mean, it's hard for me to just dislike this Grievous figure just because I enjoy the look of the character so much. So, I mean, I think I can see where people have some issues and maybe some flaws, but in terms of just like the way he looks right here, you add those lightsabers, and like I said, I will do here in just 1 second for you. I think he'll pose pretty well for you guys. Like, he'll look good on display, and obviously you don't need to display him with his cape, but it's still nice that they included it, even if the design is a bit flawed in the way they did it. But right here, like this Grievous, obviously, like based on his design, he'll stand very well. So he's gonna be an easy figure to display, and maybe next to an Obi-Wan, or however you want to display it, even if it's just like an Episode 3 collection and all of his lightsabers out. Maybe we'll get a Count Dooku soon, and you can put him next to him, which would look nice. But I for display purposes, I think he looks good. Functionally, maybe there's a few issues that I can see with the figure, but without the cape, I think, and the forearms out, I think he's going to look real good once I put these lightsabers in. Now, say what you will, guys, but it's hard to get much cooler than holding 4 lightsabers at the same time and looking, much more intimidating. So I respect that they gave every lightsaber a different hilt, which is nice. You know, they didn't get lazy as maybe they could have with that and just give them all a generic hilt. You know, you get the 2 blue, the 2 greens, and there's different ways you can hold it. Obviously, you can't do the spinning attack, you know, that he's known for in episode 3. But aside from that, I think everything about the way he'll pose, like I said with this, like there's different ways you can obviously hold these lightsabers for him and stuff like that. But I just think he'll look real cool just holding his 4 lightsabers. And like I said, you probably don't need the cape for display purposes. I think it would just get in the way here. But otherwise, just holding 4 lightsabers, I think he looks real nice. So right here, I just wanted to give you guys a quick look at just kind of the head sculpt. It's a little bit different looking at a head sculpt when it's a non-human figure, because it's not really like you're trying to match a likeness. And most of the alien or, you know, I guess robotic head sculpts, they do a fairly good job of always looking like the character, and I obviously don't think this Grievous head is any exception or anything. I think it looks perfect and it looks exactly the way it should. And just wanted to give you guys a little bit of a closer, more detailed look at the way Grievous kind of looks right here. So I kind of wanted to put the cape back on with all the accessories out and just give you guys some final thoughts on this figure. Obviously, he does come with 4 lightsabers, as you've seen. I removed one to show that he also does come with his blaster pistol that is used throughout the course of episode 3, kind of throughout the climactic battle with Obi-Wan Kenobi. But last thoughts on this figure, like you guys can see here, I mean, yeah, that part around the cape really just covers up a little bit of his mouth, the way you see, and just the way it kind of lays is not my favorite. I do appreciate the fact, I didn't really touch on this, but they gave you slots to hold the lightsabers, which maybe not exactly where he put them in the movie, but at least they're there, and you can take, you know, the blades obviously out of the hilts and just put the hilts in there, which is a good touch. I like the cape, and I like it being cloth. It's just that area around the neck and up top just looks real out of place. But overall, if you guys really like the prequels and you're like General Grievous the character like I do, you're really not going to be able to pass on this figure. He looked really good, I think, without the cape. In general, I think he's a little stiff in the way his arms move and everything kind of works, but for display purposes, I mean, he's going to look ideal. I mean, he looks just as good as he really needs to if you're going to put him on display on a shelf or with episode 3 figures or prequel content or anything, however you want to do that. I mean, he's going to work, and I can't tell you when we would get another General Grievous, because it's not one of the figures you really update with a different look or anything unless you make him extra battle damaged or anything like that, but that doesn't really make sense to make. The only way I could see this figure getting re-released is maybe in just a single box, and maybe they take away the cape and a few of the accessories, but then you lose the ability to give him the 4 lightsabers, or you have to go out and get some extra ones or something like that, because maybe that would drive the price point down, because I think this figure gets going for $35 at GameStop. That's what I got him for when I purchased him. But to lose that $15 value for them to make money, you know, Grievous would have to go in that normal box like Snoke did without his throne, but Snoke didn't lose any accessories on that. For Grievous to be able to go down to get in a normal box, I think would have to lose a lot of accessories, and I just don't think it would make sense. So really, this is probably going to be your only option for General Grievous for a while, if not forever. I don't really know when they would update him or what they really change outside of the cape. But if you guys liked the video, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and just let me know your thoughts on if you grabbed this General Grievous. I'm really happy I got him. Even despite the flaws, I just like the character design and everything about him. So I'm really happy I have him, and I hope you guys enjoy, and this video helps you out. Take care, guys.